Welcome to the Maybe Baby Diaries Podcast. I'm your host, Mariah Montgomery. Here we'll discuss all things infertility like heartbreak, joy, growth, loss, and the wild, crazy journey that it is. Let's bring awareness, education, and understanding to the table. You aren't alone. Together, we've got this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first official episode of the Maybe Baby Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Mariah Montgomery, and today I am joined by my husband, Brent.
Hello, everybody, and hello, my beautiful wife.
Oh, lover boy.
Hi.
You little cutie. You got a cutie butt over there. Okay. We are so excited to be on this journey with you guys and to officially announce that we have been working on this podcast and it is here and it is time and we are so excited to finally be doing it. It's something that we've been wanting to do for quite a while and I'm really grateful for my husband, my sweet, patient husband, for giving me the push to finally do this.
Well, yeah, you've been saying you wanted to start a podcast for at least 6 months now.
At the very least.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that we're finally doing it and that we're doing it together. We wanted to start this podcast because infertility is something that we are personally dealing with. And before we got this diagnosis, we had no reason to believe that it would be part of our story.
No, I mean, we fully expected to have a baby 9 months after we got married.
We did.
Because we didn't do anything to stop it, but yet here we are 4 years later almost.
We never saw it being a part of our journey, you know. And now that we're here, we can see just how there needs to be so much more support and love around it.
Yeah, even though we both really knew people who were struggling with infertility, like in my own family, I have sisters who struggled and I knew a couple of others that struggled. I didn't realize that it was 1 in 8 couples struggled with infertility. I didn't realize it was that widespread.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that everybody that you know is either going through or they know someone who is going through infertility.
Yeah. We didn't know how big of a struggle and how heartbreaking it was until we saw ourselves in the very middle of it. We have felt so blessed throughout the last few years with all of the support and love that we've been given. And we really just wanted to find a way to give back to the infertility community. And starting this podcast felt like the best way for us to do that and be a part of positive change.
Yeah, because we wanted to create a space where we could share our story, but not just our story, the story of others, and help raise awareness about how common infertility is, so that other people that are going through this experience feel like they're less alone.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hoping that with sharing not only our story, but the story of so many others that are directly or indirectly affected by infertility, we can help raise awareness and help educate and help everybody have a deeper understanding of infertility to help leading to a more beneficial conversation. There are so many ways a person and a couple can experience infertility. I mean, we fully plan on covering all the nuances and different ways people can be affected by an infertility diagnosis.
Yeah. One of the reasons that I have wanted to do this podcast is because dealing with infertility is so universal among the community. Every journey and every story is so similar, but they're also so completely different at the same time. As a community, we understand the incredible highs and the absolutely heartbreaking lows that anyone with an infertility diagnosis can experience.
Yeah, so we have a few goals for this podcast and sometimes video podcast. I mean, one of the goals is finding strength from other stories and the lessons that they've learned along the way.
We're really hoping to be able to not only sympathize, but genuinely find empathy for other people. And we're hoping to find support and love from a community who deeply understands the trauma of infertility.
Yeah, so like our intro says, we want to bring awareness and we want to bring education and understanding surrounding the not very talked about subject of infertility.
Going forward, we are planning on having guests on the podcast to talk about their own personal infertility stories. We're planning on having experts in the field on. We're planning on having advice, and we're planning on having just everything. We want all of the raw, unfiltered real moments on this podcast. Lots of advice, education, stories, just all of it. And we're really, really, really excited to be here and doing this with you guys.
So where can people go to connect with the show and with us?
Yeah. Down in the show notes, you'll be able to see all of our Instagram handles, and that'll be like our personal IVF Instagram. That's also our podcast Instagram, and that's our website down there as well, and so is our Gmail.
So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us through a direct message to any one of our Instagrams.
Yeah.
Or you can send us an email.
We'd love to hear from you guys, and we're always looking for more people to have on the podcast and to share some stories. So if this resonates with you, please reach out, because we would love to have you on and be part of something bigger.
Yeah, so if any of you would like to be a part of this podcast or be a guest on this podcast, just reach out and let us know.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And Brent, thank you so much for being on with me. I felt like it was important for you to be on for at least this first one. I know you won't be on every time, but you know, this is something that we're doing together, and I really wanted you to be a part of this first episode.
It is my pleasure.
Join us next time while we talk about our own personal journey, what it is like going through secondary infertility, and what's next for our journey to our Maybe Baby. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining us on the Maybe Baby Diaries podcast, and we'll talk later. Bye, guys.
See ya.